Hello guys, this is Ms. Ponsdale on again. We are going to start working on test 1.1 review part 2. So if you might have your notes out from your part 1 review, we're going to follow the same 5 steps that we did on our part 1 review. Okay, our first step is to distribute. And on this problem number 1, we do not have any distribution, so we're not going to do that. Our second step is to combine like terms. So on this left side, I can combine these two. So I have 7y minus 3y. So 7 minus 3 is 4y. And then I have the plus 5 equals negative 31. Okay, our step 3 is move smallest variable. So on this particular problem, we don't have variables on both sides, so we don't have to worry about that. Our next step 4 is to move constants by using addition or subtraction. So if I have a plus 5, I can get rid of that by subtracting 5 from both sides. So now I'm left with 4y equals, and negative 31 minus 5 is a negative 36. Now my next step is to get rid of the coefficient by using the inverse of multiplication division. So if I have 4 times y, I can divide both sides by 4 because division is the inverse operation of multiplication. Now I'm left with y equals negative 36 divided by 4 is negative 9. Okay. Now, problem number 2, follow our steps. Is there any distribution? Yes, I can do negative 2 times 4n, negative 2 times positive 5. Okay, so I have negative 2 times 4n and a negative 2 times 5 equals negative 6n minus 24. I multiply this left side, and negative 2 times 4n is negative 8n. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And then I've got this negative 6n minus 24 on the right side. Okay, now my next step is to move my smallest variable. Okay, again, be careful. Negative 8 is smaller than negative 6. So I move that by adding 8n to both sides. Over here, I'm left with negative 10 equals negative 6 plus 8n is positive 2n minus 24. Okay, my next step is to move constants using addition or subtraction. So if I have a negative 24, I get rid of that by adding 24 to both sides to balance my equation. Negative 10 plus 24 is a positive 14 equals 2n. Now my last step, to get rid of my coefficient in front of the variable, I divide by 2. So now I have n equals 14 divided by 2 is 7. Okay, if you need to stop and rewind, please do so. Otherwise, we're going to go to question number 3 in our review. Okay, our first step is distribution. So I'm going to distribute this negative 2 to the 2x and to the negative 3. Okay, so I've got 8x negative 2 times 2x and negative 2 times negative 3 equals 12. Okay, now simplify this left side. 8x, negative 2 times 2x is a negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6, and equal to 12. Okay, so now my next step after distribution is to combine like terms. I can do that here. Okay, so I have 8x minus 4x, so 8 minus 4 is 4x plus 6 equals 12. My next step is to move my constant because I do not have variables on both sides, so I don't have to worry about that. So I move my constant, -6, -6. I'm left with 4x equals 12 minus 6 is 6. Divide by 4, divide by 4. I have x equals 6 over 4. If I reduce that down, that's 3 over 2. Okay. Problem number 4, distribution. Okay, now this one's a little bit more complicated because I have distribution on both sides, 7 times 2x, 7 times 3. And on the right side, I have a -4 times -3, and -4 times -x. A little bit more complicated, but just take it step by step. I've got 7 times 2x plus 7 times 3. And on the right side, -4 times -3 minus 4 times -x. And then I have plus 7x over here. Okay, now simplifying this left side, 7 times 2x is 14x. 7 times 3 is a positive 21. On the right side, -4 times -3 is a positive 12. -4 times -x is a positive 4x. And then I have this 7x. Okay, so now I've distributed. Now my next step is to combine like terms. There's nothing on the left side to combine, but on the right side I have this 4x and 7x. Okay, so I've got 14x plus 21 on the left side, and then 12 plus 4x plus 7x gives me 11x. Okay, now my next step, I do have variables on both sides, so now I get rid of my smaller variable, minus 11x minus 11x. I'm left with 14 minus 11x is 3x plus 21 equals 12. Okay, now get rid of my constant by subtracting 21 from both sides. I'm left with 3x equals 12 minus 21 is -9. Now, get rid of my coefficient by dividing by 3, and I'm left with x equals to -3. Okay. Stop and rewind if you need to. Okay, otherwise, we're moving on to question number 5. Okay, now you'll have a question like this on your test. This is an error analysis. They're basically asking you, tells you, it says, in which step did the mistake first appear? Now, your answer choices will be step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you may have an answer choice that says there was no error. Okay, so just be careful. If there's an error, identify which step it's in. If not, your answer choice will be there's no error. Okay, so again, using our first step, we always distribute first. So here I'm going to distribute the -2 times 7 and then -2 times -3x. Okay, so my first step should be, once I distribute, I should have -2 times 7 minus 2 times -3x plus 4 equals 12 plus 5x. Okay, so that becomes -14. I'm going to write it down here. -14 plus 6x plus 4 equals 12 plus 5x. Okay, so that first step is good. Okay, now after I distribute, I combine like terms. So on this left side, when I combine like terms, I have this -14 and this +4. Okay, so Negative 14 and a positive 4 is a negative 10 plus 6x equals 12 plus 5x. Okay, so that matches. That step is good. Okay, now after I distribute, combine like terms, my next step is to move the smallest variable. So moving the smallest variable, I've got a 5x and a 6x. So I would subtract 5x from both sides, which would leave me with negative 10. 6x minus 5x is a positive 1x equals 12. Okay, so here's where the error took place in step 3. Okay, it should be negative 10 plus x equals 12. Okay, so you need to learn how to do these types of problems. Basically, you're just doing the math yourself and just figuring out where, in which step the error occurred. Okay, so moving on to number 6. Okay, we're just changing words to math. Okay, so we have 4 times a number. Okay, so this number we're going to call x. Okay, and 4 times a number minus, okay, 8 is equal to 12. Okay, so 4 times a number minus 8 equals to 12. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in red so you can see that 4 times a number minus 8 is equal to 12. Okay, so then from there we just solve the problem, the equation. So we have 4x minus 8 equals 12. There's no distribution, there's no combining like terms, there's no moving the smallest variable. So our first step would be get rid of the constant by adding 8 to both sides. I'm left with 4x equals 20. And then I get rid of my coefficient by dividing by 4, and I come out with x equals to 5. So 4 times a number minus 8 is equal to 12, then my number is 5. Okay, that covers the first 6 questions on our review for test 1.1 part 2. Let's watch the next video for questions 7 through 12.